What is your favorite platform to use to promote your business, and which ones have you had the most luck with? Can you show how you photograph your bracelets that you put on your website? How do you know what sort of price to sell your items at? How much money should you have to start your business? I think this is an awesome question. Hi bead buddies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kelly Prepster Studio. My name is Kelly, and today, as you guys might have read from the title down below, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the ultimate guide to starting your small bracelet business, or if you're not making bracelets, your small business. I am seriously so excited to be sitting down and sharing this video with you guys because my channel is growing like crazy. I've been getting tons of requests to share my backstory on how I started my business, Kelly Prepster Studio, any tips that I have for you guys that are starting your own businesses, and just a little bit of a step-by-step guide. So I hope today's video is helpful. Thank you so much for watching and clicking on this video. It seriously means the world to me. If you haven't already, I would love it if you join our Bead Buddies fam and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you use the hashtag Bead Buddies in the comments down below, I do a comment of the day shout out at the end of every video, so your comment could be my next video's comment of the day shout out. So let's just roll in. I thought it'd be fun to get started on my backstory on how I started and built kellyprepsterstudio.com and my YouTube channel and all my socials. So I actually have a main channel called Kelly Prepster on YouTube about 7 years ago, which has been such a game changer. It's been so much fun. I love filming and creating YouTube content. And in 2017, I actually made this video that went semi-viral. It has 300,000 plus views on how to make a bracelet, and it is a really well performing video on my main channel. But at the time in 2017, I was still kind of like figuring out things. I wanted to be a fashion YouTuber. I was about to go to college, and I was like, I just don't want to make bracelets all the time. It wasn't where my heart was at the time, but I made them occasionally because I had so many requests to make them. Fast forward, now here I am on a second channel making tons of bracelets, but that video did really well that I was like, I should make an Etsy. So we're back in 2017. I started in Etsy, and it's Kelly Prepster Studio on Etsy. I think if you're just starting out, Etsy is a great platform to get started on, especially if you don't really have a following. Now I'm going to dive in a little bit more on Etsy versus Shopify later in this video, but at this point in my story, I was on Etsy. I was just doing it for fun. It was a little hobby. I made bracelets here and there, and I would list them and sell them. It was nothing serious. Then the pandemic happened, and I was like, okay, I could use a little bit extra money, so I started making more bracelet videos on my main YouTube channel, Kelly Prepster. If you guys haven't seen them, there's like a whole series of videos over there. I want to say there's 12 to 15 videos, and they just kept performing so well. So now we're gonna fast forward. It is 2022. My husband and I are in the car. At this point, I had graduated college. I'm married. We're driving in the car, and I remember sitting at a red light, and my husband John, who edits all my videos on this channel, which he is seriously so awesome, he's like, why don't we make a second channel? Everyone likes your bead videos, your bracelet making videos, and then that way you can kind of keep your fashion channel for fashion and lifestyle, and then you have a whole separate channel for making bracelets, and we'll call it Kelly Prepster Studio based off of your Etsy. It was like this light bulb moment. We made the channel, and I started posting these YouTube videos once a week, and it didn't really grow that far. In the first year, I was at like 1,000 subscribers. It didn't really grow that fast, but it was so much fun, and I was just really consistent with it. I was still selling on Etsy. That was May of 2022. So then come January 1st of 2023, I was like, let's amp it up a little bit. I was like, okay, let's kind of do some research. I started like watching other people who had small businesses. I started getting really into the business side of things. Then come March, so I had 3 months of kind of like watching other people on YouTube. I would type in like small business vlogs, small business YouTube channels, and would just consume the content to learn the ins and outs, what platform people use, how they were selling it, did they do sales, all of this stuff. And in March, I was like, okay, I am done with Etsy. I was having a little bit of issues too because I had a custom bracelet option, and I loved that I was able to make custom options, and it was so much fun. But Etsy had this policy where you had to respond to everyone's messages to boost your selling rating, which was so frustrating because I was getting overwhelmed with the amount of messages, and then people were asking for even more customizations, and I just couldn't keep up with the orders, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. But if I didn't follow through, they would be like, I'm gonna give you a bad review, and that really tanks your Etsy like salesmanship, I guess, and like you would get like less sales if you didn't have a good rating on Etsy. Anyways, I'm gonna go into that later. And so in March, I decided to make the switch. I shut down my Etsy shop and opened up Shopify. It was brand new. My husband John helped me design the whole site. It was completely customizable, and it still looks the way it does since I've started, and I am in love with it. I have new logos, everything. So I started selling on Shopify, which is just kellyprepsterstudio.com. You can get your own website. You have to pay a little bit extra, and there is a monthly fee opposed to a listing fee. And I was like, I'm just gonna take the risk, see how it does. At this point, my YouTube channel was at 1,000 subscribers in March. So, which is so crazy because we're at 16,000 subscribers right now. I decided in May to do daily videos on my YouTube channel, and we called it Maybe Mayhem. It was really hard. I only ended up posting, I want to say like 18 videos, but at this point, my subscribers were skyrocketing, and the more content I posted, the better my sales would do, the better my channel would do. And look at us now. We are almost at 300 orders. I have my little Shopify counter on my desk. I do live streams. We upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday on KPS, and it is making a full-time income, which is seriously so mind-blowing. The fact that something that was just a random idea out of red light came to this, and I'm so excited. I still have my main channel. John's still working. He's just editing my videos on the side. So that is a little backstory on how I started. I know it's a little long-winded, but it was just one of those really random ideas that took off. So here we are. We have our Bead Buddies community, but I did get a lot of questions on how I started. So I hope that's relatable. I hope that's helpful. It was just the more consistent I was, the more I posted, the better that everything worked out, and they all kind of intertwined. So like posting helped my sales. I'm going to go into that in depth a little bit later in this video when I explain how to get more sales, but I also wanted to share my opinions on Etsy versus Shopify because I get this question a ton, and ever since I shared that I'm on Shopify, I get lots of questions about it. So Shopify is, I believe, what they call an e-commerce platform. You can open your Shopify. They have different tiers of website levels, and you can customize your own website. Super cool. They have so many nice features. I think I'm kind of at the bare minimum. I pay $39.99 per month to have my website up, and I thought that was really fair since it has so many of these premium features. I did pay a little bit more to have my custom domain, kellyprepsterstudio.com. And again, I just think you have to spend a little bit of money to make a lot of money, and that's just something I've always kind of thought to be true. And I really have had nothing but great experiences with Shopify. Now, I will say it's a little bit hard. Thankfully, I have John helping me build the website, and it's all what you get used to. It just takes a little bit of time to learn. There's plenty of tutorials on the internet and on YouTube on how to do things. So when I started on Etsy, it was a great platform to start with because if you don't have a following, they suggest your shop to anyone that's viewing similar items, which can be a pro and a con. So I'm going to go down the pros of Etsy is if you don't have a large following, it's easy to get new eyes on your website. It's really easy. It's got great user interface on how to upload content, how to share your product, how to list them, and there's great marketing that Etsy does for you. So those are the really big pros, but there's a lot of cons in my opinion that outweigh it. But again, if you're just starting, I would recommend starting on Etsy because you have to start somewhere. Now the cons for me when I was on Etsy, like I mentioned earlier, Etsy rates you as a seller based on your selling rating, I believe. And so you have your customers rate your shop when they get it. They can threaten to give you low reviews if you don't do their demands, which aren't always like what you sell. Another example of that is if you don't respond to messages quickly, it lowers your rating. And also every item that you list is a 40-cent fee, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for my website alone, I have over 350 products on kellyprepsterstudio.com right now. So to think I would have to pay 40 cents for every product that I'm listing, not only is that a big cut out of your product, then they take a percentage out of your sales. So if you're charging $10 for your bracelet, I can't remember exactly what the percentage is, but they do take a percentage. I would say like $2 to $3 out of your listing. Another thing with Etsy that I was a little frustrated with when I was using it is they really want you to offer free shipping. They will promote your shop if you have free shipping, which in this day and age right now, free shipping is really hard to do to still have a profit margin because just mailing one bracelet costs around $4 to provide a tracking label. But on Etsy, if you charge anything over $10, it is mandatory to offer the buyer a tracking number. So it just gets really complicated. But again, if you are starting out trying to see if you like making bracelets, if you want to do this, if you're not sure if it's for you, start on Etsy. It's less expensive, it's easier to get some foot traction, and then you can slowly build your way to Shopify. But I absolutely love Shopify. Again, it's a little difficult at first, but it's really easy to get the hang of it once you do it. It's super customizable, and they have no fees except for that monthly fee of $39.99. I think there's other plan options, but that is what I would recommend, especially if you're starting off like where I was. A con of Shopify is unless you get the word out there about your website, so for example, kellyprepsterstudio.com, it is going to be really hard hard for people to find your shop. So you are going to have to market your shop, your website, as much as you possibly can, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But it is so important to market your shop, and that is one of the cons of Shopify, is no one else is doing it for you. But with that, a pro is you don't have to worry about ratings. You don't have to worry about speedy messages. Now, I think you should still do that, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to ding your like rating if you don't do that. So that's my little pros and cons against Etsy versus Shopify. I think it all really depends on what you're selling, how much you're selling. Do you have a following? Do you not have a following? Are you just starting out? Can you afford to pay the $40 per month? Little pros and cons. Another pro with selling on Shopify is they do have a huge discount when you are buying and using their shipping labels. They just give you a little bit of a discount since you're buying usually them more than one at a time, where Etsy didn't really have a big discount personally. But that is enough about Shopify versus Etsy, and I feel like I'm talking forever, but I'm so excited. I asked you guys over on my community tab to ask me any questions that you have, which I'm going to be sharing in a few minutes, but I wanted to share some of my really easy tips for starting a bracelet business and for being a YouTuber, whatever it is. I think you can kind of take this advice and put it towards anything in your life, and it's something that my mom has told me over and over again when I compare myself to others. And with starting a bracelet business, when I started, I thought there were too many other bracelet businesses out there, that I wouldn't get any sales, that I wouldn't make any money, but that is not true. Yes, there's going to be thousands of people that make bracelets, but all you need is a little piece of the pie. And that is what my mom tells me every time I start going like, well, there's so many people. Yes, there's going to be other people. That's the competition. You have to figure out a way to set yourself apart from the other people. But like I mentioned, I am making a full-time income doing Kelly Prepster Studio, which is so crazy. And I don't have a million subscribers. I don't have a million sales, but I have a small little slice of the pie, and I love all of my bead buddies. I have 16,000 subscribers, almost 300 sales, and that's all since March. So like it does happen, and you don't have to have these crazy numbers to have a successful business. So I think that holds a lot of people back, thinking there's already enough people doing it, and that is so not true. So going off of that, what I just said is you have to figure out what sets your business apart from other people's businesses. And I'm going to share this with you guys. I hope you don't steal my advice on this, because I think it's very original. So when I started my business, I was like, okay, when I really got serious about it, when I started Shopify in March, I was like, what can make my bracelet business different than everyone else's? And since I was doing YouTube and growing my YouTube channel, I said that any order that is placed on my site will be packed on my YouTube channel with a little shout out. Now, I don't know if that means a lot to everyone, but that is what set my business apart from everyone else. When you order, you're going to see your order packed on my YouTube channel, which at the time I didn't have a big YouTube channel, but now it's kind of cool, you know, like 16,000 people get to see your order packed on a YouTube channel. So that was like my little thing that made it special. Yours could be like a free sticker with it, a freebie, a handwritten note, whatever it may be. It makes you different than the rest of the bracelet people, the rest of the bracelet businesses. And I just think that's really cool. What I would recommend with getting started is figure out one type of bead that you want to get started with, or multiple, but keep your cost low. I think this is really helpful with getting started. It's easy to go buy a bunch of product and hope that it sells. You really have to kind of start small and keep growing as your business is making more money. So you're going to need the basic supplies of elastic or string, beads, a pair of scissors, and any like charms that you want. It's super easy to get started. You're also going to need packing supplies. When I started, I was just using bubble mailers and note cards to write my thank you cards. Now I do make my own printed thank you cards. I use my printer, I print them out. I use a paper cutter to cut them. We have organza bags to put them in. We have freebie stickers. Those little things come as you keep growing your business. So you might not start where I am right now, but I also didn't start where I am right now. So you can go back to my first video and watch that and see how much has evolved in, I would say, almost a year. And it is crazy to think about that, but you don't have to have everything all at once. You just need the basics to get started. Then I wanted to mention before we get into the Q&A, and I know this video is very lengthy. I'm not making any bracelets, so I hope you're enjoying it. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you guys find this video helpful so far, is marketing. So I, again, use my YouTube channel to market my business. And every video I say, welcome to my YouTube channel, Kelly Prepster kellyprepsterstudio.com. My name is Kelly. I'm not saying you have to start off your YouTube channels doing that or even make YouTube channels, but I'm getting my business name in your ear. You're hearing it. You're like, oh, Kelly Prepster Studio, kellyprepsterstudio.com. I probably say it at least 3 to 4 times in a video, but also I put it in the description box, but also I'm sharing the behind the scenes of my business in my videos. Another great way to market on social media is to make TikToks and always have your like shop name or username or website in the description or on the screen. You can post on Instagram and make an Instagram bracelet business page. Also, if you don't want to use social media, you could make stickers and pass them out to your friends. You could make like freebies and give them to people to talk to other people about, kind of like that word of mouth. You could do pop-up shops. There's so many ways to market your business, but no matter what, whether you're on Etsy, whether you have your own site, whether you're just selling them for fun, you're gonna have to find some sort of way to market your business. But those are my main really big tips. If you guys would like to see another guide like this one, let me know, but we're gonna head over to my community tab and answer some questions. Now, I've been getting lots of questions on how to get to the community tab. So I just have my YouTube channel pulled up on YouTube, and this is what you see when you go on, and I think you just slide over here and there's a community, and this is what it looks like. I try my best to post on here as much as I can, and so I'll just tell you guys when I'm going live, when I upload a new video. Well, one of them, I did ask you guys to ask me any questions. I said, hi, hashtag BEADBUDDIES. I'm planning on filming a small business startup guide, which is this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them in an upcoming video. That's a good example of marketing. I'm telling you guys about a future video and engage you guys, but also I want to help you guys. So we're gonna answer some of these questions because you guys asked the best questions. I feel like I'm so lucky to have our BEADBUDDIES community. You are my besties. So let's get started. What software would you recommend for tracking sales, profit, and record taxes? Would you recommend marketing for the first time on Instagram or YouTube or both? Oh my gosh, we got a lot of questions. I'm gonna like answer each question and then respond to it because this is like a huge paragraph, which I'm loving it. So I use Shopify. They record all of your profit, your sales, your taxes. They literally have graphs of all this information, which can be really overwhelming, which this is another pro because Etsy doesn't do that. So I really love it. Would you recommend marketing for the first time on Instagram or YouTube? Personally, I'm a YouTube girly. I love YouTube. I love filming. I love sitting in front of the camera. I love editing. I also have my husband who edits, so it's just a win-win. But if you don't know how to do that or you're not comfortable with it yet, I would recommend Instagram or doing both if you are able to. How much time do you spend on filming for marketing / audience versus making the product, and how do you plan out your week / month? Okay, this is a great question. So since I've started, when I first started, when I was only uploading 1 video a week, it would probably take me like 4 hours on a Sunday to film the video, to take the pictures, to do all of that. But again, at the time I wasn't making a lot of money. I was just kind of starting. So as of right now, I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do 1 to 2 launches a month, and I try to go live at least once a week. I respond to all the comments. So I would say I probably spend at least at a minimum 7 to probably 15 hours on kellyprepsterstudio.com and my YouTube channel, all of it, a week. And I absolutely love it. It makes me so happy. It probably takes me an hour to film each YouTube video. It takes John an hour to 2 hours to edit each YouTube video. I sit down for half an hour to an hour every day responding to comments. And what I've learned to do, and I find this really helpful, is as I'm filming this content, I'm currently making bracelets. So I make bracelets while I'm filming. That's what I film videos about, why I'm going live. And that product becomes what I sell. So it's this really great cycle because I don't have to make time just to make product. I'm filming myself making the product for the launch. So I hope that's helpful. Also, did you just jump into starting your business or did you begin by planning? I feel like I am stuck on just planning and afraid to start. Thank you so much for your tips and inspiration. I am so excited for you. I hope you start your business. My biggest tip is to just start. Your first video might not be perfect, and that's okay. Your first bracelet, your first post, whatever the first thing might be, it's not guaranteed to be perfect. You can go back and look at my first video on my main channel 7 years ago. You can go look at my first video and see how different it is. My packaging was different, but once you get started, the ball's gonna get rolling, and until you start, you're just gonna be constantly planning and you're not gonna be doing anything. Now, like I explained in my backstory, I didn't really plan to do this. It just kind of stumbled upon, and it was just a wild idea. Okay, can you show how you photograph your bracelets that you put on your website? What lighting do you use? I don't have it set up right now, but what I do is I put a piece of white construction paper down and I put my ring light on top of it, and then I take the picture with my camera, and then John, he's so sweet, he edits all of those pictures so they have the same filter onto it. So it's really low maintenance, it's super easy. How can you boost your videos? How do you calculate how much it costs to make product, and how can you make up new ideas? So to boost your videos, I think posting consistently and posting more videos. You need good quality videos, you need to be consistent, and you need to have a good quantity of videos. I know it's kind of like repetitive, you've heard it before, but it really does help. And I just kind of came up with a flat rate based on the products and how much the products cost and how much shipping costs. I don't really pay myself based on how many bracelets I make, if that makes sense. But I also have like two incomes. I have the what I make based off product and what I make from YouTube. Where do you like to buy all of your clay beads? I buy most of them on Amazon. I did work with Temu as a collaboration for my YouTube video, and they did send over a bunch, which I really like. Where do you get your seasonal charms? Amazon. I do make videos on where all of my beads are from. If you guys missed them, go check them out, but I share where everything is from. Please, could you do how to try and make the business run smoothly and juggle your everyday life along with it? Honestly, some days I get really frustrated because I'm like struggling to find the balance, and I think it's just the more you do it, the better routine you'll get into it and be able to time out how everything is. I don't really have a great tip for that because I'm still personally struggling with that. We're gonna do a few more questions. How do you ship, like with shipping labels? I've never done that and would like to know. So unfortunately, I can't really share this on camera because it gives out my shipping address, but also other people's shipping addresses. But whether you're on Etsy or on Shopify, when the buyer buys your product, they enter their shipping information, and then both platforms have a buy shipping label, and you just have to print it. So you can print it on regular computer paper, or you can have a little thermal printer, which is what I have. It doesn't require any ink. It's a little bit of a startup cost, but I think it's so worth it. The next question is, what is your favorite platform to use to promote your business, and which ones have you had the most luck with? I think I'm YouTube all the way. I've had viral YouTube videos. I have had a short that had hit 100,000 views, which was so crazy in the last 6 months. And I just find that the YouTube community really likes the bracelets, which I am so grateful for. And then secondly, I'd say TikTok. How do you know what sort of price to sell your items at? I get lots of questions on pricing items and how do you know if it's too much or not enough. I think it's that thing where you have to really factor in how much you've spent on products, a little bit of your time, how much is the buyer willing to spend. There's like a whole little formula on this, but also like, would people pay those prices? So for basic bracelets that are a little bit like clay beads or anything, I charge $10 a bracelet. They cost a little bit more in beads because they have charms and everything. They take longer to make, but also it's that thing that they are getting it hand packed on my YouTube channel, which comes with a shout out. The shipping, there's a lot of little packaging details that I like to put in there, and I just know you're going to get a good quality bracelet. Now, people that think my bracelets are too expensive, they can go buy bracelets elsewhere. That's like, I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's like, okay, well, other people are buying them for that price. So I hope that's helpful. I just think it's that thing, you kind of have to find what works for you. I was selling bracelets for $2 to $3. I want to say 5 years ago, which sounds a little crazy, but you have to think the price of everything was so different. I used to be able to buy a box of honey bead bracelets for like $10. Now it's $15. So the price of everything's gone up. So of course the price of my bracelets is going to go up as well. Okay, let's do this as the last question. And if you guys want to see another video similar to this, let me know, because I got tons of questions. There's over 45 comments on this post, which I'm so grateful for. I just feel like this video is getting really lengthy and my camera battery is about to die. So how much money should you have to start your business? I think this is an awesome question. Honestly, I don't think you need that much money to start. You need, let's say you start selling pony bead bracelets. A tray of pony bead bracelets costs $5. You could get some elastic for probably, let's say $6. So we're at 15 plus 6, so we're at $21. You probably have a pair of scissors at your house. Okay, so that could make bracelets alone. If you're selling them at school, I'm gonna say you need 20 bucks. You don't need mailing supplies or packaging. So $20, but you could also maybe say $50 to $100 to buy all the packaging supplies, to have a printer or like a thermal printer to ship internationally. But it's all what you make of it. You don't need a ton of money to start. You don't need a bunch of supplies to start. You just kind of have to start. So I really hope this video was helpful. I'm so happy to be able to sit down and help, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm so grateful for every single one of you guys for supporting me, supporting my small business. I love, love, love chit-chatting with you guys and helping you, and I'm so proud of every single one of you when you comment. You've inspired me to start my business. Go you. Keep it up. Keep going. Stay consistent. You got this. And I love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit that subscribe button, join our Bead Buddies family, and use our hashtag Bead Buddies in the comments down below, which, speaking of, here is today's comment of the day. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. It seriously means the world to me, and I'm just so happy to have you guys here. And be sure to stay tuned for December. I'm doing Beadmas instead of Vlogmas. So I'm gonna have 25 straight days of bead making videos, so I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and I'll see you guys back here very soon with another new YouTube video. Bye guys.